Welcome back to the channel, you kooks. Well, it's quarantine time and we wanted to stay sane during this time, so we decided to keep ourselves busy with all of the things that we've always wanted to do to our van but never really wanted to settle down and stop traveling to do it. So when we took off, we actually had not really finished this area. We just slapped on like whatever we had left and took off and got on the road. So that was one of the first things that we wanted to address. So we started the remodel with redoing this front entryway, and it looked so nice, and we had so much scrap wood that we wanted to continue to see what else we could do in the van with all the scrap wood that we had. So most of this project was done with scrap wood, and the only things that I'm going to say that wasn't done with scrap wood was our cabinet fronts. But let's show you where the project started. It started with this area. We put new oak, and that started the whole oak craze in the van. So we have oak here, we have oak face frames here, and this used to just have storage here and on the inside. And what we did was we made this whole frame piece that fit inside there, this whole like shelf piece that fit inside there, and then put a face frame on the front. And then we had our stuff easily accessible. We have so much more storage for bathroom stuff now, and it really opened up storage in one of our other bathroom drawers. So we just feel like we've really maximized the space, since we really know what we're taking on the road with us every day, that we are able to actually build homes for all of that stuff. And we're going to show you right now, we're going to get into it, what we did with all this scrap wood.
So we got quite a bit of scrap wood left over from our last build, and Ethan, as you can see, has quite a bit he's willing to let us use. So we're gonna tap into this and see if we can use up this first, and then we're gonna have to maybe buy some materials for our door fronts and other finishing touches, but we're gonna dive into all this scrap wood and see what we can get done. So we pulled all the drawers out, and we're gonna build our drawer inserts. We've been measuring and drawing everything.
So we finished our scrap drawer inserts. We had a lot of scrap wood left over, and these are the drawers. We know what we live with day by day, so we decided that we wanted to build around it so that we aren't always playing Tetris every day. We just want them to have homes. So the drawers turned out great. Now I am working on the face frames. So I've made a cut list here. It's kind of confusing because there's a lot of different widths and stuff, but we're gonna go in and we're gonna make the face frames. Give it a facelift.
All right, so we got the green light on a bunch of oak scrap wood here. We're gonna use this as our face frames, and there's some thin sheets of plywood that we're gonna use to cover up some of that existing white stuff that we had on there. So yeah, we're gonna use this oak. We're going to rip a bunch of it on the table saw, plane it down, get it looking nice, and install it for our face frames.
I'm uninspired as of late. Life doesn't get a second take. How does it feel to be replaced? I don't think anything would break this thing that you've got going on.
Now we're piecing together some of our frame pieces, and what we do is we come in and we just mark where they're going to cross, and we make sure that they fit.
It's gonna look really nice.
Yeah, it's already looking way better. Got that bottom one on.
we got all of our oak face frames in. We finished them with the poly, the water base, and they're looking really nice. We started putting our stuff back in here. But yeah, that is gonna really clean it up. So once we get our doors on, it's gonna look nice. We bought oak plywood from Auburn Hardwoods, and we're gonna put black doors on all this.
So we also made all new drawers. Since we've been living in the van for a while, we know what items that we have all the time. So we built around those items so that it was easy to organize everything, and we have so much more space. We have this that slides over the top with all of our silverware and knives that we use, and more extra space. This is everything that went in there before. And then we also have these push to open drawers. Our blenders and stuff go down here, and then just like teas and everyday like sardines and stuff like that in here. And then here we have all of our cups, and everything's easily accessible. Before, when we got into it, we had to like dig to get things out and put things on the counter and then get the, so this just pops out. It's super nice. And then this will make documenting stuff a lot more easy. We also had to do that in this shelf. So now everything's easily accessible. I have to get on my tippy toes, but Kevin's tall enough. Right now on this project, what we're doing is we're going to make a multi-functional kitchen countertop. And before, it just used to be a countertop and held things on top of it. But this time, it's going to hinge open and house our cooktop. And then back here, we'll be able to slide some like aluminum foil or whatever extra stuff. And then here, we're going to build a box to hold all of our olive oils and everything. Before, we had a basket here, so we kind of really liked that. And we wanted to mimic it, but make it look finished with all this other stuff.
Take away my loneliness, but only for tonight. Do what it takes to make me feel alright.
All right, so we've raised up our countertop here. We have a nice, plenty of storage space. We're gonna put the bottom in this box, and then we're gonna put everything in. We got the countertop cut, and we got this project just about wrapped up, and it's gonna just kind of open up, and that's where we're gonna have our cooktop and a bunch of other stuff. So we're feeling really good about what this looks like right now.
We've moved all this stuff here, so we have like aluminum foil and all your stuff that you need to do when you're grilling here. And we put the grill in here. It used to live up here. Now we have rooms for our ropes and our backpack for our ropes. Also, we remodeled the toilet drawer, and so we added stuff along the side because we always put stuff there and it stayed pretty well, but sometimes it would all fall out if you'd made a sharp turn or something. So we just have everything there, and we also moved the switch here because it was on this and the cords would always get really tangled up, so now it's just here. And we're going to put a new curtain here. Right now, the next project that we're moving on to is we're redoing the couch. So we've already moved the inverter from here to give us more space here. And then we used to have like a tip down computer tray here. We're going to try and keep that. And what we're going to do is make like an angled couch, because we had it like at a 90-degree angle and it wasn't very comfortable. So we're going to try and make this one more comfortable with an angle in the back.
And we're going to add way more storage. It was pretty inefficient.
Yeah,
so
there's more wood than storage. So we finished with the couch, and I'm going to show you what's all in it. So basically these come off. You don't need to take this part off though. You can just put it down to get into all of our computer stuff that we said we wanted to redo. We kept this, but added the angle like I said before. And then we also, so you can take this off and there's even more storage. Under here, there's some wetsuits, some camera stuff. Kevin found some room for all the books that I don't want to give up. And we have moved this on top of the battery, so there's a little shelf now, and that hangs out in front. I was just charging something. And we have more storage here. These are extra electrical stuff that we might use, extra LEDs. And if we ever need to get into our distribution panel, we can just get into it here and check out what's going on. The solar charge controller's there. And we ran it back. We redid this because we always used to, like, when people were sitting here, especially guests, they would always bump into our heater and it would turn it on and we'd all have the doors open and get smoked out for a second. So we moved it so it had a little bit of room and no one could ever really accidentally do that anymore. And it works out great. We have like an extra shelf in there for headphones and stuff. And also what's new is we wanted to use scrap wood for a lot of this project. And this was some scrap wood left over from our last build series. So we have those colors in there. And then these were like the tongue and groove panels that we just cut in half and found a cool pattern that we could go with. Cool, easy pattern. Very easy.
Danny is finishing the floor here. We went with this
Floor pops.
floor pops. It's pretty cool. It's gonna look nice. Moving on, I'm gonna make some quarter round trim for the floor and maybe for some of the sides and roof parts. So I just take a sheet of hardwood here. This is our oak, and I got my router, and I'm just gonna hit a quarter round on this edge, and I'll show you what it looks like. Now I have a nice edge, and then I'll rip these on the table saw. I'm gonna do it on both sides, and then I'll cut them on the table saw to get a nice piece. All the trim has been cut. I showed you how I routed it and cut it on the table saw. And now we're gonna put it in place. We have a headless nailer. Just show you how much better it looks with that trim on. Got some weights holding down the glue. But yeah, it's gonna look nice once we get it in.
Right now I'm on the last coat, and what we did is we dyed it with a black alcohol stain, so it was deep penetrating and it dried up real quickly, so it was really forgiving. It didn't make any like super stains in any one place. And then we did many coats of that so we could get it a deep black that we wanted. And then now what we're doing is we're doing the polyurethane. So we did 2 coats of polyurethane. We did the backs first and then the fronts so that we could practice on the backs. And on the fronts we did 2 coats, then we wet sanded it, and then we put another coat of polyurethane once it was really dry. And that makes it as smooth as a baby's bottom. So I jigged all the doors, and now what I'm doing is I'm putting these hinges in and I'm making sure that they are square before I go ahead and put these screw holes for them, the pilot hole. So we installed our new doors that we made. These weren't made out of scrap wood. We actually went to get the wood, and it's oak plywood. And we tried to keep the grain going the same way. That was one of the most annoying things of our scrap doors last time, is that they kind of were all different ways in the grain. And also, you can't really tell that this is ply because we have used a, what is it, like a veneer? It's like a wood veneer that you use an iron to put it on, and then you scrape the sides down, kind of similar to what you would do on the side of a countertop. And those are actually oak as well, so all the grain looks similar. And then what we also have done here is we really liked these hinges that we used in our last fan. These are 3/8 overlay hinges, and it just allows for a 3/8 of an inch overlay here, and then it opens flush with it. And these hold it up, so we got to keep those doubloons. We like those a lot. And it actually, we haven't had any trouble. We didn't put any latches. We'll see how it goes. But we haven't had any trouble. Those doubloons and those hinges actually hold it down quite well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll update you on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's the end of episode 1 of our remodel. Stay tuned for more episodes where we are going to put a sound system, lights, we're going to build our own sub box, and we're going to show you all how we did it. So stay tuned and we'll see you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and see you later.